So hi guys, I just made it back in from the grocery store. Actually, I went to two stores. I went to the bookstore first. Altogether, I went to three stores today because earlier today I went to the Dollar Tree. But I just came back from the bookstore and the grocery store, and I went to my local grocery store, Market Street, and I will show you a few of the items that I just picked up. So I basically picked up things just for one night's dinner, with the exception of a few items. And this little stuff for one night's dinner came to like 60 something dollars. I'm not sure where I put my receipt. I'll probably find it in a minute. But I always have to have my orange juice in the morning. So I picked that up. And dinner tonight is going to be salmon, potatoes, and asparagus. So I picked up a slab of salmon, and I'll be opening that in a minute. I picked up some potatoes to roast. I have two bunches of asparagus. I have broccoli as an extra item just to have in the fridge. 2 avocados. I always see their smoked salmon, and it's a spicy apples. It's a spicy apple smoked salmon. So I wanted to give this a try. I see it quite often. It looks pretty good. I eat stuff like this served with rice and avocado. I also have some ice cream. I have cookies in the freezer, chocolate chip cookies that I can bake already. So I picked up some ice cream, and I have this real sangria. It is I think a white grape wine with citrus flavors added to it. So I also picked that up. So I'm going to go ahead on in the things that I need to put away now. I'll put them away, and then I'll begin cooking in a minute. So I'll start off by showing you guys the salmon. This is the bit I have to take it out of the bag so you can see it better. That is it. So, and I'm gonna get it rinsed off and put into a pan. So here's that beautiful piece of fish, all cleaned up, scaled, and ready to be seasoned. So now all I have to do is get the oven turned on and fish seasoned, put into the oven and get everything else prepared. So I have also rinsed and chopped the potatoes. I kind of spared you the details of that, but I rinsed and chopped the potatoes. This is a potato medley. This is our favorite ones to use. So this is the red potatoes, the butter potatoes, and the purple potatoes. So I'm going to get both seasoned up. I'm going to season the potatoes first, get those into the oven, and then work on the fish. So to season the potatoes, I'm going to be keeping it super simple. Here I have Lipton onion soup mix. I have here a little sea salt, and this is Malden sea salt. And I also will be drizzling it with a little extra virgin olive oil. So for the fish, I'm going to be using this chopped garlic, and I love this because it's super fine. It's not a paste, but it's almost a paste. And if I don't have to fool with fresh garlic, I don't. So don't come for me about that. I have here, this is not shallots. This is actually freeze-dried onions, but I normally buy the freeze-dried onions in a large container. This is the last of them. I keep this filled up until my large container is empty, so that I don't have to handle the big bottle. So I'm going to use my pestle and mortar to ground this up into a powder to add on top. I will also be using a combination of my spice blend here, and this is basically two different spices that are combined together. My favorite, which is blackened seasoning, my Zatarain's, has to be the Zatarain's one, and Slappy Mama. So that is what I have combined in here so that I can just take a scoop and use it all at once. I also like to add a little bit of this seafood spice. It can be used as a soup pack or whatever. I normally get this from my local Asian market, and it adds a delicious savory seafood flavor to the food. And once it's done, I will be adding a finisher, which is this peri peri seasoning. I'll just sprinkle a little bit of that on So right now the potatoes are baking, the fish is waiting to go into the oven, and while I do that, we can talk about some of these books that I picked up. So the first one I picked up is Norman Rockwell's America. And if you've seen some of my book hauls, you may have seen that I did pick up a copy of this book before, but it's still a hardcover format, but this one has the dust jacket on it, and the covering is quite different. It's a fabric cover. It's still a nice cover, and the receipt is actually still in this one. So I picked this one up in July of 2023. So in July 1st of 2023. So this is actually almost 2 years, a little past 2 years to the date that I picked this copy up. But this edition, I love the cover of it. It is a leather look, most likely maybe like a pleather, but a leather look cover. And it has that bump style spine to it. Hopefully I have good lighting in here. We can see. Let me see if I can fix my lighting a little bit. So that's a little better, but not great. But I love Norman Rockwell's art. He's one of my favorite artists, and just about anything I see on him, I just preferred. I decided to pick it up. This one is actually a Medical City Hospital, the Dallas Medical City Hospital copy. So it may have been something that they had on display. So it was probably hardly ever even used, and there's still even a letter in here. Hmm. I'll just show it to you. Oh, well, it's actually tabbed inside the book, so it's not even loose. So that is the letter, and this is a few a few of the illustrations. I love his work. I love his art, and I think this actually includes fold out art pages. Oh, let's see. I think they have fold outs in here. Yeah, they do. It's one. His art just fascinates me. All of the details that went into these illustrations is amazing. And you know, he was famous for the Saturday Evening Post covers. So that's one of the books that I decided to pick up. So I also picked up this little handmade notebook pad here. And this one is a little different because it flips open, almost like a legal pad. And it has this little bamboo stick. I guess this is to kind of stabilize the paper. And it has the straw twine that wound around it in a little, almost look like an embroidered leaf. It could be glued on though. I think it may be glued on. So I love little handmade notebook papers. These I may actually write letters on or sketch on and tear them out. I noticed that this side is smooth and the back side is textured. So of course I'm also going to give this a try with watercolor paints. So that was another thing I picked up. So before I move on to the other books, if you watch my Dollar Tree haul from last week, I picked these pens up, and this was the only style I could find. So earlier today, I went in Dollar Tree because I needed something, and as I state, every time I go, this is one of my favorite pens there. So if I see it, I'm gonna pick it up. This was the only one left. I picked it up. They also had more. They call them calligraphy pens. I call it fountain pens, but they had more of the little fountain pens in stock. And I found the other styles that they offered. So since I picked up two of the blue one, I decided to pick up two of each of these. And it is this one is a light blue with flowers. And I also picked up, these are perfume scented highlighters. I picked these up just to try them out. I think these were in like the school supply area. So I saw them and I picked them up just to try them out. I also picked up these little bowls. Well, I saw these little wooden frames. This might be something cute to kind of paint, design, and stick on a notebook cover with a picture in it and maybe a piece of plastic film on the front to protect the photo. And I saw these little containers that my daughter and I can use for our lunch bags. So that was, I also picked up a few more of my same old repetitive items like the Jello jellies that I normally get, the tuna packs, the Jello jellies, the tuna packs, and it was one other thing that I picked up besides bathroom tissue. It was something else I picked up, but I can't exactly remember. But it was some of the repetitive items that you can see in one of my Dollar Tree hauls. So I recently decided that I wanted to get into Stephen King. And I'm sure we're all familiar with Stephen King. Stephen King is a horror novel writer. And I'm normally not into horror, but I figure if I'm going to start, I might as well start with him. I do have some works by H.P. Lovecraft, but I have not read them yet. I haven't gotten into them. They're just on my bookshelf, and eventually I will get into them. So I picked up Dream Catchers, and I was interested in this because it is kind of based around a group of four boys, four friends. They have like a strong bonded friendship. They go on, I guess, yearly hunting trips. There's also another boy that I guess joins the group, and he's like a spiritual guide or something like that. But during one of their hunting trips, I guess a mysterious act begins to happen in the forest. And if we know the mind of Stephen King, I'm pretty sure I know what direction that will go in. But I don't know too much about it yet, but I was interested in it, especially because of the friendship thing. Like, I have always loved the movie, and I actually watched it today. And of course, it's not horror, but Now and Then. I watched Now and Then today, And I went to the bookstore because it's almost like a written rule for me when I watch Now and Then. I also want to watch The Sandlot. So I went to the bookstore with intentions of picking up The Sandlot. Unfortunately, they didn't have a copy of The Sandlot there. I see it's available on Hulu. I'll probably just watch it on Hulu, but I'm also at the point where I'm getting my DVD collection up because I just enjoy having my DVDs. So I was going to pick up The Sandlot and they didn't have it in stock. Now this I did have as a sample on my Kindle, and I was reading some of the sample on my Kindle, just the very beginning of it. And I saw that this was on the sale rack for $5. So I said I may as well pick it up because it would have cost me more to purchase it on the Kindle. So I decided to pick up Dreamcatcher. And lastly, today I picked up The Stand. And I've been interested in reading The Stand. I know most people have read it already, but especially with what we recently went through. And this is about some type of pandemic that wipes out or practically wipes out the human population. So I'm very interested in reading that, and you can see it is quite a read. And I could have also purchased this one on my through my Kindle app, but I wanted to have this book in hand. I actually wanted to have an actual copy of it. And you can see I paid from a used bookstore. I paid a pretty hefty price for it, but I wanted it, so I went ahead and picked that up as well. That I would mention, if you are looking for a good journaling app, organization app on your iPad, this app is called Awesome Note. So the reason I know about Awesome Note is because I have a smaller Galaxy Tab, like that 8.0 size. I don't know if it's charged. Let me go get it. Let's see if it's gonna come on. Just because it's loading, that doesn't mean it's charged. And this tablet is really old. It could possibly be 13, 14 years old. It's really old. Okay, so it is at 0%. So I don't even know if I can get in it to show you the app. If I can hurry up and show you. Okay, so this is what it looks like on here. I had this app for like maybe and it's going dead. At least you got to see it. So I I hardly use this tablet anymore, but I I was watching movies on it because I have so many movies and things on it, and I can still read my ebooks on it. I do that sometimes. But I just decided to go through my Awesome Note app, and it felt so nostalgic. And I cannot find it in the Google Play Store anymore because I do still have a Samsung phone. So something told me to check my iPad, and I went in the App Store, and fortunately, which was not upside down yet, they had it. I was so surprised to see that they had it, the exact same app. And when I say you can style your handwriting, I don't want to go to, let's see, I'll go into, because some of these are like very personal entries. So I have my handwriting style as like an italic style. This is about my daughter giving me the flower. So you can do your bold heading, add emojis to it. I have like an italic style um writing in there, and you can add photos. So just imagine going back to that 10 years from now, looking in your tablet, and you still have something as amazing as this. Now, I still love writing in my notebooks, but sometimes I just like to sit and type and do my entries in here because, of course, I do put my own daily heading on there, but it also does it for you. What am I doing? So it also automatically puts the date that you put the entry in there. So I thought I would share that, in that app. It's called Awesome Note. You can also do like little calendar reminders, because I set a doctor's appointment in there, and it came up on my screen, on my home screen, where I had to check the task off as complete. So lets you add different things, and it's just different things you can go into the app and kind of figure out what to do in it. You can even sketch in it. It's nothing like Procreate, nothing at all like Procreate, but you can still take your eye pencil and actually put a piece of sketch, put a sketch on a page on a page in there. You're not going to have shading and all that fancy stuff, but you can still sketch in there. So, all right, or whatever you want to do. So it's a fun app, and I thought I would share that. So let's get back to the food. So the potatoes smell amazing, and they are ready to come out of the oven. See, they're nice and soft. Some of them sit for a little while before I move them around. And I have the burner heating up for the fish. So what I'm going to do is I like to sear it from the bottom a little bit. I'm turning the oven to oil. Turning it to broil, so that when I do put the fish into the oven, it will cook from the top. And that is pretty much heated up. Normally I will preheat my pan first, but I'm not gonna leave it on here very long. I season it. The fish is already seasoned on the pan that it's going to go into the oven with. It's not gonna sit on there very long, just enough to kind of get the pan nice and hot, so that when I put it under the broiler, it will continue to cook from both the bottom and the top. So as you can see, it is quickly beginning to sear, and I will let it go for maybe about 2 more minutes, and then I will place it under the broiler. I can also spread the butter just a little more, since I am about to put it under the broiler. And into the broiler she goes. And while I am waiting on that, I will begin chopping, and I will first steam my asparagus, and then I will sear those as well. And when I'm chopping them, I don't like to leave them completely whole. I'll chop them maybe here. It's going into my colander, and then here, and toss the bottom. Or I could actually go a little more in. And these are kitchen scissors, so they're only used for items in the kitchen. And I'll toss maybe about that much off. So I'm going to get all of those cut up and ready to be prepared. Okay, it is on the oven and it's spicy. So normally I have a little bourbon seasoning and today I don't have any. So I'm going to do a little bit of my honey. I'm not going to get my house now when it has actually pepper to it. It's super spicy. But this is going to be and my daughter, so I'm going to do a little bit of this one. And some off, and I'll let it sit in a long oven for maybe like a minute or so, just to put the honey to glaze on there. And now I'm going to go ahead and finish off the asparagus. So for the asparagus, I have plug and butter the pan, and I will go ahead and get it in there. And I also steam the asparagus before I actually cook it, because I feel like it gives you a much more tender vegetable. So I go ahead and steam it a bit, and I will salt it just a bit. And for the asparagus, I like to add this ranch. We like the ranch. Me and my daughter like the ranch. So a little with that, and get this dinner finished. And I'm moving to plate it up. I decided to add honey butter glazed croissants. And this is everything finished. Okay, guys, this is the look of perfection to me. And the wine is red. I was hoping that it was white, but it's red. But this is dinner. This is one of my favorite dinners. Very quick and easy. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. So until next time, thank you so much for watching.